Today we're going to be talking about accounts, receivable, and billing, and how at Optima Office we systematize the evaluation of this department. Understanding the billing process is paramount to developing reliable short-term revenue forecasts, cash flow, and end-of-month revenue figures. We're going to be talking about the checklist of questions you need to go through to properly assess this area of accounting. Is the billing process generating error-free invoices consistently? How often are invoices generated? Does the accounting system code each billed amount to the proper revenue accounts? Make sure the product items identified on the invoice are flowing through to inventory appropriately. So you need to make sure that the invoice is hitting the inventory and taking that item off the inventory as you put it on the invoice. You also need to check the shipping log for details. Make sure the freight or shipping charge flow through to the accounting system as well. Make sure this information flows through to the accounting system as well. Who is going to be monitoring this information is accurate? Make sure that there is someone actually in charge of monitoring that this information is accounted for properly. Make sure you debit receivables and credit revenue. If cost of goods sold are included, you must debit the cost of goods sold and credit inventory to make sure that item of inventory is removed from the inventory and that the cost of that item is properly accounted for. If there are reversing adjustments being made between periods, you must make sure that they're done when the revenue has not been recognized in the invoice. Make sure there's controls in place to regularly check for updated tax tables. Make sure the tax being properly credited to the sales tax liability account before being forwarded to the proper authority. And make sure that the sales tax collected are remitted to the government authorities on a timely basis. These are the items you need to address, and they include verify the contract terms. Take a look at all the contracts that you can and make sure that you've checked for terms that are applicable. Verify the amount of credit available for each one of your customers. Then you need to perform an audit trail that includes completed invoices, customer order, credit authorization, and bill of lading. Make sure the accounting system properly creates the accounting journal entries. If manual journal entries are being used, then you need to investigate why, because there's probably something wrong that needs to be addressed. Is there a bad debt policy? When is a bad debt written off? How do you accomplish that, and what's the criteria for determining that? Do you use a third-party collection agency? Is that something that you want to engage in? Sometimes we have companies that have toxic account receivable problems, and they need to engage the services of a third party to go out and get money that's out there that's due to them. Is there a procedure for inducing a payment from a customer? Do you have a policy to going after a customer that owes you money? Are you estimating doubtful accounts accurately? Is there a policy in place for estimating the amount of money you don't expect to get paid and creating an allowance for it? Make sure that the invoices are being sent to an individual person and not just a generic email address. Make also sure that they're being sent to the correct address if they are being mailed to the client. Make sure the invoices go directly to the accounting department or the person specifically responsible for paying those bills. For example, using online invoices versus paper invoices. Make sure you implement an ACH collections policy. Institute an online payment portal. Does the company have a lockbox? This is a huge security feature that can be implemented and make the accounting receivable department much more safer and professional. Make sure that the invoices are formatted clear and concise, and that all the terms and instructions are clearly displayed, especially payment information. I've seen so many invoices that are sent to the client without payment information, and the client needs to call back and follow up as to how and where to send the money. So make sure that all the invoices and prices are easy to understand on every invoice. If you have any more questions about the accounts receivable process, reach out to your Optima senior team or mentor. We want to make sure that everybody on the team is comfortable with our processes and has the support they need to be successful for themselves and our clients.